They were once called the bankers of kings. At their peak, it's said they controlled half the world's wealth. Kings, emperors, even presidents, they all came to one family for money. Not Silicon Valley, not Wall Street. It was the Rothschilds. But how did one family rise from a small house in Frankfurt, Germany, to quietly shape wars, empires, and fortunes that still ripple through global markets today? And why do some people whisper that their influence never really ended? In this story, you'll discover how five brothers built a secret financial network across Europe long before the internet existed. How one coded letter changed the outcome of a war and made them richer overnight. And how, even today, their legacy hides inside modern banks, energy firms, and even luxury brands you know by name. This isn't fiction. It's history most schools never teach. And it might just change how you see power, wealth, and who really runs the show behind the curtain. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The story begins in Frankfurt in the late 1700s. A man named Mayer Amschel Rothschild lived in a cramped house in the Jewish ghetto. His family was poor, but Mayer had something others didn't vision. He worked for a wealthy family, learning about coins, gold, and the mysterious new world of banking. Soon, he opened his own small business, dealing in rare coins for nobles. That's when he caught the attention of Prince William of Hesse, one of the richest men in Europe. Mayer didn't just sell coins. He built trust, and that trust opened doors to royal vaults. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Mayer didn't dream small. He had 5 sons, Amschel, Salomon, Nathan, Karl, and James. And he sent each one to a different European city: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. 5 brothers, 5 cities, 1 mission: build the most powerful financial network Europe had ever seen. This wasn't about owning land or titles. It was about controlling credit, the lifeblood of kings and countries. And remember, in that era, whoever financed wars and governments ruled from the shadows. While other families built castles, the Rothschilds built something stronger: information. They used secret couriers, coded letters, and fast horses to move news faster than anyone else. According to reports from historians, their private network often received battlefield updates before royal messengers. Imagine having tomorrow's headlines today and betting on them. Now here's where things get really interesting. It's the early 1800s. Europe is in chaos. Napoleon Bonaparte is at war with almost everyone. And in the middle of it all stands Nathan Rothschild, the brother based in London. He wasn't born in a luxury. He built it. Through smart deals, daring loans, and secret intelligence, Nathan became the go-to banker for the British government. In 1815, something incredible happened. The Battle of Waterloo, the clash that decided Europe's fate. Here's the legend, and parts of it are still debated today. Nathan reportedly received news of Napoleon's defeat before anyone else in London. Through his private courier network, he knew the outcome a full day before official word reached the city. And what did he do? He walked into the London Stock Exchange and started selling. Seeing him sell, others panicked, assuming Britain had lost. The market crashed, and when prices hit rock bottom, Nathan quietly bought everything back. When the truth finally came out that Napoleon was defeated, prices soared, and the Rothschild fortune skyrocketed overnight. Some say this story grew with myth over time. But one thing is certain: their information network made them untouchable. By the 1820s, the 5 Rothschild brothers weren't just rich, they were the richest family in the world. They financed railroads, mines, and governments. They even helped fund the Suez Canal, which connected Europe to Asia, a global trade artery still used today. Their homes were palaces. Their dinners attracted kings. Even Queen Victoria reportedly sought their financial advice. But if you think that's where their power stopped, wait until you hear this. The Rothschilds didn't just fund nations, they designed systems. Long before central banks existed, they were creating one in spirit. They lent to both sides of wars, France and Britain, Austria and Prussia, but ensured they were always repaid first. That meant no matter who won, the Rothschilds never lost. Their network was the internet of its time: instant, invisible, and everywhere. Their couriers carried coded notes that could shift gold across borders faster than any army. According to economic historians, the Rothschild family's financial reach stretched from London to Istanbul, Paris to Bombay. And here's the twist. While many European empires crumbled, the Rothschild fortune grew. They diversified into railways, mining, wine, and art. Their influence seeped into the Bank of England, Banque de France, and Austrian Imperial Bank. But wait, something else was happening. The public started noticing how one family's name appeared in so many national deals. Whispers began. Were they controlling governments? The family rarely spoke publicly. They preferred silence, privacy, and shadows. By the late 1800s, anti-Semitic rumors painted them as puppet masters of Europe, claims historians later called exaggerated or false. Yet, the secrecy only added to the legend. Even today, when people talk about the global banking elite, the Rothschild name still appears, often mixed with myth and fact. But here's what most don't realize. While public attention faded, their empire quietly transformed. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The world entered the 20th century. New fortunes rose. Rockefellers, Morgans, and Vanderbilts. But the Rothschilds? They didn't vanish. They evolved. Instead of owning everything outright, they began owning through others. They invested in banks, energy, and even luxury, but under complex layers of holding companies and trusts. According to sources, parts of the Rothschild legacy now live in private investment firms like Rothschild & Co., one of Europe's most respected advisory groups. They also hold stakes in wine estates, including Chateau Lafite Rothschild, one of the most famous vineyards in France. Here's the fascinating part. The family still operates by the same core rule Mayer Amschel taught. Control everything. Nothing directly. It's said that's how they maintain privacy while influencing decisions worth billions. Their wealth today may not top Forbes lists, but insiders believe their networks of influence remain priceless. Quiet philanthropy, private banking, political access. Their descendants still attend royal events and global summits, not as rulers, but as advisors of rulers. So when people ask, do the Rothschilds still control the world? The truth is more complex. They don't rule, they shape. Their empire isn't built on armies. It's built on trust, timing, and tradition. And that's a kind of power that never really disappears. So what does all this mean for us today? We live in a world the Rothschilds helped design, a world of global banking, fast finance, and invisible influence. When you tap your credit card or transfer money online, you're using systems their ideas were inspired centuries ago. Their story teaches us how information, not gold, not guns, builds empires. And how wealth that lasts isn't just made. It's protected. Think about it. 5 brothers in 5 cities, united by one vision. They didn't have social media, phones, or airplanes. Yet they moved faster than anyone. They proved that network money, and that true power lies in connection and trust. Their rise also shows how wealth can quietly pass through generations without noise or fame. While tech billionaires chase headlines, the Rothschilds mastered silence. That's why, today, their story matters more than ever. Because modern families from Silicon Valley to Wall Street still follow their blueprint. Build trust. Diversify. Stay invisible. Plot twist. Even many luxury brands, estates, and financial firms trace roots back to Rothschild capital or partnerships. They shape the architecture of private banking as we know it. And for us, the lesson is simple. Money fades. Systems last. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Most people believe the Rothschild story ended in the 1900s. But dig deeper, and you'll find they're still here, just in new forms. The modern Rothschild and Company, based in Paris and London, still advises governments and billion-dollar firms. They help shape mergers, rebuild economies, and manage global wealth. They also own vineyards, art collections, and foundations supporting science and culture. Their focus now? Legacy, not dominance. And here's the twist most miss. The Rothschild name doesn't stand for greed. It stands for strategy. They built systems that outlasted wars, kings, and crises by never depending on any single source of power. The untold story isn't about conspiracy. It's about endurance. How one family turned knowledge into influence and time into an ally. So next time you hear their name, don't just think money. Think method. Think mindset. If this opens your eyes, what comes next will shock you even more. Let's recap what we uncovered today. How one father in Frankfurt turned 5 sons into the first global banking dynasty. How their private network of couriers and coded letters built fortunes faster than empires. And how, even today, their principles of wealth and discretion still guide the elite. The Rothschild story isn't just about money. It's about how power hides in plain sight. If you found this story eye-opening, imagine what's coming next. Because in our next video, we'll uncover another forgotten dynasty, one that quietly funds the world's energy, luxury, and influence circles even now. So, if this fascinated you, subscribe right now. Hit that bell, because I promise the next story connects directly to this one. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think matters more, money or the systems that move it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And remember, the most powerful empires don't always wear crowns. Sometimes they wear silence.